Welcome to the online interview of the media expert. Our guest today, Cosimo Jencks, Chief Representative of Hongkong Land, in charge of Vietnam, Thailand, and Cambodia. Welcome to the media expert, Cosimo.
Good morning.
Good morning. So Hongkong Land is a large property investment, management, and development group with a property in all the key Asian cities. In Vietnam, they are involved in luxury residential developments such as Nazim and the Mark, as well as office and luxury retail in Hanoi. So today Cosimo will share a bit with us on his overview of the market and what he sees coming in the next few months or years, if you like. So let's start with just a general question, Cosimo, to you. How your team is doing and the groups, and how you guys are going through this period?
So we are a regional property developer of some scale, and as the COVID has moved around the region and hit countries at different times and at different levels, we've responded accordingly. I mean, Vietnam itself and our staff here have been dealing with this issue at a personal level for the last couple of months, and it affected a lot of our staff, particularly the female staff who have children post the Tet or the Chinese New Year. And then recently we've had the social isolation. Luckily, none of our staff have been affected. None of our buildings have been ordered to close. We haven't had any of those type of issues. We've all been working either in split teams, that's 50-50 at home, 50 in the office. And we've been engaged in a number of CSR initiatives with supporting the government here and regionally on the COVID-19 fight, working principally with the medical workers and obtaining materials for that. Our focus has been very much on our staff. It's been very much on our customers, and there's been a dearth of new deals. It's not about looking for opportunities. It's about looking after what you have and ensuring that you get paid, and that, you know, an engagement in this new situation, engaging with our staff, engaging with each other, and just reaching out. I think is a very important thing, and that's something that the company's been doing and something that we've been doing as well, because it's quite easy to get isolated, and we just want to make sure everyone continues to do their work properly.
Excellent, thank you, Cosimo. So looking into the recovery, then is the question that everybody's asking: when the recovery will happen and how it will be. Again, you have expertise both in hospitality, but also in general real estate. So you may want just to open up to be the recovery like in the hospitality, but also generally speaking into the future.
So looking at our hospitality group, which is we directly invest in real estate which has hospitality elements, not here but across the region, and also our sister company Mandarin Oriental, who's a luxury hotel group. You know, obviously both sides of those businesses are seriously affected and impacted on a global basis, and it has to be one of the most seriously impacted industries both here in Vietnam and globally now. I think at the global level, it's going to be about those who can wait the longest and who've got the balance sheet to see themselves through this, or have the access to funding that will see themselves through this. Those that are heavy debt and are light on their ability to raise further funding are going to find themselves in trouble or out of business. Locally, I think what we're going to see at the Vietnam level is we won't see either a straightforward recovery. We won't see a recovery that is universal. It will be sector by sector, it will be geography by geography, it will be cluster by cluster, and within the hospitality there'll be elements that will get back to work first and that will be generating revenue. I think one of the things that we need to remember just from an operational perspective is that as we have to be as prepared for the up curves that will come as we get prepared for the down curves that are impacting us and buffering us all the time. I think city centre will and domestic business travel will be the first to resume, and then certain pockets of domestic tourism will resume. I think it might be quite a long way off before international tourism resumes, and it might be a very, very long way off till it gets back to the normal level that we were used to before COVID. And we as an investor would not be preparing either this year or next year to see a full resumption of international returning to the state that we were in. So in essence, I see several waves. I don't see, maybe those waves get diminished over time and they tick upwards, but I don't see a straightforward U or a V or an L. And I also see that will be new elements that will come into play. People will be looking for certain things more than other things, and maybe more reticent. It might be hard to convince people about certain spa services, and there might be more dining services. One doesn't know. I mean, I think you have to prepare yourself and be opportunistic as each element comes to play. Anyone who pretends that they know is just pretending.
Do you think will also impact the residential price? Will have an impact into the ability of people to actually spend and buy, or somehow some country will get through that faster than other into the impact into the price and value?
I think definitely. I mean, we're seeing what we're not. I mean, we're in a frozen state. We don't have signs of price collapse. I think that will come about purely on duration. I think the consensus amongst the financial institutions and amongst the professional service agencies is about duration and people's personal balance sheets and corporate balance sheets. And if it goes on for a certain period, it has a liquidity issue. If it goes on for much longer, then it has a balance sheet issue. And that balance sheet issue would then feed through to pricing. The counterpoint to this, and this is what happened after the global financial crisis, is what happens when all that government liquidity comes through, and where does it go, and where does it try and find a home? Where does all this printing of money go? Traditionally, it's gone into real estate, but will it again, or will it just fill the holes of corporate, government, personal balance sheets? And that again is a timing issue. So I can't say, I don't see a lot of distress in the market right now, but if you call me in 2 months or 3 months and the situation is exactly the same as it is today, then you might see that. There might be, it's too early to talk about that, I think. There should be, I mean, borrowing costs are high and there will be pockets of distress, but there's no prediction that it's wide scale. Will Vietnam?
Sorry. That leads me to actually the next question, which is 2021. What do you think would be the situation over there? Will there be a lot of opportunity for investor or developer to catch into what will be the next wave of business? Or pretty much the situation will go back where Vietnam, you never truly see distressed assets around and it will keep in this way, or we expect a lot of distress coming next year?
So the first question is there going to be pockets or big areas of distress? The answer to that is almost inevitably yes. The second question is, are we going to get visibility on it, and who will be the parties that benefit from that distress? And it depends to the extent at which that distress goes. I mean, traditionally, foreigners didn't see it in the last non-performing loan scenario, but certainly the Vietnamese developers, the Vietnamese individuals took advantage of it and were able to realize it. So it really becomes a question of timing. If the situation and the distress gets so big and there's so much stock to absorb that the Vietnamese investor is not able to realize that opportunity, then you will see the room opening up. I mean, I don't think it's government policy to stabilize and underwrite the real estate market. For sure, they've got to protect the banks, they've got to protect the population, but their obligations to condotel, to apartments, to hotels in Cam Bay, as an example, you know, that they don't have the balance sheet for that, and the state budget wouldn't go into that area. So of course they'll look for a local solution first. So it's a question of whether the locals realize it or not. So 2021, yeah, I expect there to be some opportunities. Will they be good opportunities? Will they be all open to foreigners? Many question marks there. And then how many foreigners will want to invest is the next question, because of their own balance sheets and all the other opportunities that there will be around the whole world. You know, you'll be competing for opportunity, right? So you know, the opportunity might be there, but people won't necessarily take it.
Yeah, exactly. That's also our, I think, group opinion. That will be opening up opportunity everywhere, and Vietnam will compete with other countries to actually attract those capital. You know, Vietnam has always been in the last few years the darling of investors. Everyone wants to put the money into this country. But in situations like this, we may see something coming in Thailand as well, which has been a difficult market to find the right asset in the last few years. So yes, good to know. Okay, thank you very much, Cosimo. It was great to have you with us and sharing information. Hopefully, a lot of good advice to our developer and clients. So stay safe. I see that you're around. Hopefully, I'll see you soon sometime for a drink when the market here or the restaurant or the bars will.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
All right, Mario. Thank you. All right, bye.